It is officially 14 days from the start of high school football in the great state of Minnesota. That's right, 14 days. I mean, can you really believe it that time has flown that quickly this summer? That on top of the beginning of college football and the NFL, it's all good. We got great things on the horizon. We're really vastly approaching the end of summer and transitioning into fall. And in this case with high school football, and we're going to gear this conversation more towards 6A, when we start talking about the landscape of how things are going to shake up in the 6A conference, it seems like we're having the same dialogue each and every year. And that is who, if anybody, is going to be able to beat Eden Prairie and contend for a state championship. It's a very fair conversation to be having, especially when you look at the last 10 years and how dominant that program has done. What Mike Grant has done with that team each and every year is nothing short of remarkable. But man, you want to get people fired up in the Metro that don't attend Eden Prairie or don't have a kid that attends Eden Prairie, bring up that football team. You will get a lot, and I mean a lot, of heated tangents on why Eden Prairie is the worst thing to happen to Minnesota State high school football. And it goes further than just, at least the way that they talk about it, it goes further than just your classic rivalry. There's a real bitterness when you get somebody going on Eden Prairie football that doesn't like them. There's a real feeling of anger in the air. And I was actually having a conversation with a friend I went to high school with. We both graduated in Tonka, or at Tonka in 2015, and we got on the conversation of Eden Prairie and how much we hated to play them every year, mostly because they absolutely destroyed us every year. I mean, I remember back in 2012, it was a cold, rainy October night, and that team just ran us, I think, 42-0. I mean, there was just a complete absence of defense and offense on our side. It was absolutely embarrassing, and you just hated to play them every year because they were just that good. And then I took a step back for a moment. We started to really consider it. And we came to this sort of weird epiphany as we were talking about it. And that when you take out your personal affiliations with Minnetonka or whoever you're rooting for, and you just look at Eden Prairie for who they are, and you consider the fact that the class of 2015 at Eden Prairie High School did not know what it was like to not win a state football championship, it really opens your eyes to how good they are. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic and fascinating to see what Mike Grant has done with that program. They might be, and this might be a bold statement, but they might be the most dominant high school sports team that I have ever seen compete. It's absolutely remarkable. And it actually reminds me of a quote from Evander Holyfield. And it just gets me thinking about people's perceptions of Eden Prairie and sort of that jealousy that flies through the air, especially this time of year as the season starts to gear up. He says, people who make the choice to study, work hard, or do whatever they endeavor is to give it the max on themselves to reach the top level. And you have the people who get envy and jealous, yet are not willing to put that work in, and they want to get the same praise. And I think that very much encompasses the perceptions and the resentment towards Eden Prairie football, who to me are, when I take out my personal affiliations with Minnetonka, are the most dominant high school sports team I've ever seen compete.